to the Thanksgiving extravaganza here on Backroad To Indy. This is segment 2. It's just going to improve. We got a phone ringing. I mean, it's blowing up in here, folks. It's blowing up. With your host, myself, Rowdy, Richardson. We have an exciting guest on the couch tonight. West Terre Haute's own Blake Fitzpatrick. Folks, give it up for him. Give it up for him. BFitz, that could be the warmest welcome I've ever heard here on Backroad To Indy. How do you feel about the live studio audience that's turned out for your interview tonight?
I'm really happy to be here. You know, I've watched a lot online, and I'm just honored to be asked to be on the show, and it's pretty cool.
He's honored. He's honored. We're honored to have you, Blake. We're honored to have you. Now, I mean, West Terre Haute is no short drive down here to the Fox compound in the south side of Bloomington. Now, on that journey, who'd you bring with you? Did you bring any fans, family, crewman? Who came with you?
I brought a couple of friends. I got one from Brazil, Sean, and Trent came with me, driving home.
He's giving shout-outs in the first minute, folks. He's giving shout-outs. Now, you had a tremendous 2010 campaign. You picked up a USAC win, maybe another one there. Tell us about the wins, the high times of 2010. Tell us about it.
Well, it kind of sucked when I started out. I crashed a lot when I was leading, but as the season went on, we won a few and won one big USAC race, so it was a pretty good year.
You could possibly have had the quote of the century in Victory Lane at Hopstop. Would you like to elaborate on that? I mean, Rowdy, it was just amazing. I loved it. Tell us about it.
Well, I was pretty excited, and I don't really think before I speak, so I said, how about that shit? And, I don't run the bottom a lot, I run the top, so I was excited to win on the bottom, so it was alright.
It was great. It was great. I mean, with Bubby Jones, was I correct? Bubby Jones, is he still on the wrenches of the 10F?
Oh, yeah, he sure is.
The Bubster. I mean, a true legend in himself. You ever watch Bub, walk around the pits? He reminds you of John Wayne. I mean, he's got the limp cigarette going, just eyeing down the competition. Everybody's afraid to talk to him. I mean, he was a gasser in his day, a true legend. How is it? How's the tutelage? How does that go as far as from Bub? I mean, has he been molding you as a driver? He's done great things for the Sykes and Saw Blade, Darren Clayton. I mean, what's he doing for Blake Fitzpatrick?
Oh, he's not a lot. He's got a good car. He don't tell me a lot about driving. He just tells me to drive a shit out of it, so it's all right. It works.
He just tells you to drive it. I love it. Bub is a wild man. I mean, he's got that stone face on, but I mean, as far as drivers, he knows how to get them up in the seat. I mean, now, you won at Hopstop. Where was the other win at this year?
Well, we won 2 at Hopstop, 2 at Kokomo, 1 at Putnamville, and...
he can't even remember he's won some minute. He's won some minute. Now you went to California, the land of the fruits and nuts out there here shortly. How was that trip out there to California? How was that? I mean, did you learn anything? How was the racing out there? How'd you fare?
That was a pretty good time. We ran pretty good the first night, but second night I flipped, and third night we overheated, so it kind of sucked. But it was a good time. So
it was a good time. Now I've heard rumor that it was a tumultuous trip as far as to California and getting back. Is it true that when you return, the love of your life had left you for a snare drummer the day you returned from California?
That's true. That's true. Yep.
Went from a sprint car USAC winning wheelman to a snare drummer. I mean, he must be some drummer. I mean, tell us about it.
I mean, he's got to be pretty good if you're going to drop with me for that, I hope. He's maybe Travis Barker or something like that.
Now, Travis Barker, does he play in a band or
Blink-182?
Snare drummer? What does a snare drum consist of? Rowdy is not into the music. I mean, I listen to the stuff, but I don't know anything about making it. What is a snare drum? Do you know there?
Hell, I don't know.
He says he doesn't know. But now, anytime a driver, it's well known in the racing circles, loses a woman, I mean, he picks up 2/10. I mean, you have a rough split up. I mean, anybody that loses a woman, they just stand on the gas harder. You know, they got that token, that chip on their shoulder. You know, is this going to mean Blake Fitzpatrick is even going to be harder to stop next year now that you're a single man, you know, out there roaming? You know, tell us about it.
Well, that's all we can hope, you know. It's, well, I try to always stand on the gas, but I don't let women bother me, so hopefully that's what will happen. Try to win some more races.
I don't know if there's any more throttle travel in that thing for you to, be breaking up. That is just bad news for the competition. I'll tell you right now. So, enough about the personal side of the story. I know it chokes you up to speak of it. I mean, anytime you lose the love of your life, it's tough. It's tough. And tell me about it. Rowdy Rod, has lost a woman or two, and just break your heart. Now, as far as for 2011, what are we doing? Do we got Bub back on the wrenches? What kind of car are you running as well? Just elaborate on that. The fans really like to know.
Well, we're running a spike again, and hopefully, it's a plan to have Bub back. And we want to run the whole USAC dirt schedule, but money pending. We'll probably be doing the same thing as we did this year and years past. So.
A spike chassis, made by the crazy Kiwi himself up there. I mean, John Godfrey. I didn't know he made sprint cars. Tell us about that.
Well, Bobby made it himself. He designed it and just had him build it. So, the crazy Kiwi made it, I guess.
Wow. Now, Bub's an animal. We've covered that. I mean, but you still got to drive it. Blake Fitzpatrick has still got to wheel it. What was the turning point in your career? I mean, sometimes the switch just comes on for a driver. A lot of drivers sit here on the couch, and sometimes their switch never comes on. But yours is obviously you flipped the switch. Tell us about when did that moment happen?
I really think about Hobstock, when I finally started running the bottom, and it kind of worked, so we just, ever since then, it kind of flipped on, and won some more. We lost some, so it's alright.
That's what I like to hear. Now, folks, I'm going to ask you one last question here before, I know you're going to get a round of applause. You've been a dynamite interview. Now, as far as any predictions for 2011, the season coming up, what are you going to do? How many wins? Tell us about it.
I don't really know. We just hope we win a lot. Win a lot more than I have in the past. So, just try our best and see what happens.
He's going to try his best, stand on the gas. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll tell you what. He is going to be a man to be reckoned with in 2011. He's single, no ring on that finger, nothing tying him down. He's going to be going from coast to coast, just hitting, everything. Like I said, you're gaining 2/10. Now, folks, Blake's been a tremendous interview from West Terre Haute, Indiana. Now, let's give him a big, warm round of applause for a tremendous